Ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you you're not lost, not failing, not behind, just closer than you've ever been? Closer to the breakthrough, the moment, the success you've been working for, but didn't know was already reaching back toward you. Let's get right to the point. Time is your most valuable asset. It's not money, it's not energy, it's not opportunity. It's time. Because once it's gone forever. The most successful people in the world, those who win consistently, have simply mastered how to manage their time better than others. If you're tired of feeling like you're spinning your wheels, stuck in place, or constantly busy but never productive, it's time to change the game. Today I'll share with you 3 powerful strategies to stop wasting time and start winning every single day. Time is the currency of life. Every second you spend is an investment, whether you realize it or not. The truth is, you can always earn more money, but you can never earn more time. Once it's gone forever. The people who rise to the top in any field understand this at a deep level. They treat time with respect, they guard it, protect it, and use it like the precious resource it is. Most people drift through their days, reacting, answering emails, scrolling through social media, responding to other people's agendas. But high achievers take control of their time. They understand that your future is created by how you spend your minutes, not your months. You don't waste time because you're lazy. You waste it because you haven't assigned it a value. When you treat time like it's free, you end up spending it on the wrong things. Every person on this planet gets the same 20. What separates winners from the rest is not talent, luck, or intelligence. It's how they use those 24 hours. The top performers operate with urgency. They don't wait for motivation. They schedule, they prioritize, and they move fast. They don't allow unimportant activities to steal the day. Time is their partner in success, not their enemy. Think of time like a bank account. Every day you get a deposit of 1440 minutes. You cannot carry them over to the next day. If you don't use them wisely, you lose. And just like in money, the way you manage your time determines whether you build a fortune or stay broke. But while financial loss can be recovered, lost time is unrecoverable. That's what makes it priceless. Many people don't realize they're losing time until it's too late. They look back a year, 2 years, even a decade later, and wonder where all the time went. That's why you must become fiercely conscious of how you're spending each moment. Time leaks don't come from major events. They come from small, repeated habits. The unplanned phone calls, the extra hour of TV, the long, meaningless conversations that lead nowhere. Small distractions create massive detours. Winners keep score. They track their time like they track their money. They know what their time is worth per hour, and they measure their activities against that standard. If something doesn't produce value equal to or greater than their hourly worth, they cut it. They understand that your time must work for you, not against you. That's how productivity becomes predictable. When you waste time, you're not just delaying your goals, you're delaying your growth. You're postponing your potential. The compounding effect of time well spent is massive. One focused hour a day, invested deliberately, can change your life in a year. But wasted time compounds too. Days of inaction add up quickly, and before you know it, you've lost momentum, clarity, and opportunity. Ultimately, your life is a reflection of how you've used your time so far. Look around. Your health, your finances, your career, your relationships, they're all the outcome of how you've managed your minutes. That's the brutal truth, but it's also empowering. Because the moment you decide to master your time, you start mastering your results. And that shift is the beginning of something extraordinary. The 80-20 rule, also known as the Pareto principle, is one of the most powerful concepts in time and productivity management. It states that roughly 80% of your results come from just 20. This isn't just a theory, it's a reality you can observe in every area of your life. A small portion of your tasks are responsible for the majority of your outcomes. The challenge is knowing which tasks those are, and then having the discipline to focus on them relentlessly. Look closely at your to-do list. Not everything on it is created equal. Some tasks are busy work. They make you feel like you're being productive, but lead nowhere. Other tasks are high leverage. They move the needle in a major way. Winners develop the skill to distinguish between what's urgent and what's important. They stop confusing movement with progress. They ask themselves, what are the few actions that, if done consistently, will produce the biggest long-term payoff? The truth is, most people spend 80% of their time on activities that generate only 20% of their results. That's why they're exhausted, overwhelmed, and still not where they want to be. The successful minority, on the other hand, flips that ratio. They identify their top 20% tasks, the ones that create value, drive revenue, build reputation, and they make those the center of their schedule. They don't try to do everything. They focus on doing the right things well. This principle is not just for business. It applies to every area of life. Think about your relationships. Chances are 20% of the people in your life bring you 80% of your joy, encouragement, or even opportunities. In your personal development, 20% of the books you read or podcasts you listen to will deliver 80% of your insights and growth. Once you understand this, you can stop trying to do it all and start doing what matters most. Applying the 80-20 rule starts with brutal honesty. You must analyze your tasks, your habits, and even your routines. What's giving you the highest return on your time and energy? What's draining you with little to show for it? This kind of audit requires courage, because it often reveals that you've been spending far too much time on low-impact tasks out of comfort or habit. But if you want to win, you must become ruthless about protecting your time and cutting the trivial. You don't need more hours in a day. What you need is to compress your effort into the tasks that yield exponential results. 1 hour spent making a sales call to the right client can be worth more than 10 hours organizing your inbox. One strategic partnership can be more valuable than a year of marketing experiments. The trick is identifying what works and then pouring gasoline on it. Eliminating or outsourcing the bottom 80% of your tasks isn't just about efficiency, it's about freedom. When you reduce the time spent on low-value activities, you create more space for strategy, creativity, and growth. Most people are stuck because they're doing too much of the wrong things. Winners simplify, they systemize, they delegate, they channel their energy where it counts, and that's why they multiply their results while others plateau. Mastery of the 80-20 rule is a mindset shift. It's about moving from being a doer to being a driver, from being reactive to being proactive. Once you internalize this principle, you stop chasing quantity and start pursuing quality. And in that shift, your productivity, income, and impact begin to rise, not gradually, but exponentially. If you want to win the day, you must plan the day. It's that simple. Most people wake up and jump straight into the chaos of the world. Emails, notifications, conversations, without a clear sense of direction. And then they wonder why the day got away from them. Planning each day in advance gives you control. It gives you structure. It allows you to take charge instead of just reacting to what comes your way. High achievers don't leave their schedule to chance. They know that clarity leads to efficiency. Before the day begins, they've already mapped out what needs to be done, in what order, and how much time it will take. This habit removes decision fatigue and prevents mental clutter. You should never start your day without knowing your top priorities. Your brain is a problem solver, but it needs instructions. Planning gives it those instructions. The best time to plan tomorrow is tonight. Spend 10 to 15 minutes at the end of your day to write down your tasks for the next one. When you do this, your subconscious mind goes to work while you sleep, organizing, processing, and preparing you for action. You'll wake up with more energy and a clearer head. You don't need an hour-long planning ritual. You just need to identify what truly matters and assign it a slot. Don't confuse planning with overthinking. The purpose is not to create a rigid checklist, but to bring order to your priorities. Life will still throw curveballs, but when you've already determined your direction, you'll adapt faster and stay focused. You'll waste less time wondering what to do next, and more time doing what needs to be done. Planning creates momentum, and momentum is what separates productive days from busy ones. One of the most powerful tools you can use is the simple act of ranking your tasks by importance. Use the ABCDE method. Assign an A to your most important task, a B to the next, and so on. Or simply circle your top 3 priorities and tackle them in order. The key is to stop letting your day be consumed by low-impact tasks. When everything feels urgent, nothing is truly important. Planning filters the noise. Winners schedule their priorities. Losers prioritize their schedule. There's a difference. The best performers know what their highest value activities are, and they block out time for them first. Morning hours especially are prime real estate. That's when your willpower is strongest, your mind is freshest, and distractions are lowest. Use that window to work on your most important tasks, not to scroll through your phone or answer trivial emails. Planning doesn't eliminate flexibility, it amplifies it. When you know what must get done and how long it should take, you can adjust intelligently when things change. You'll stop being controlled by urgency and start operating with intention. You'll go through the day with confidence instead of chaos, and confidence leads to execution, which leads to results. Most importantly, when you plan your day in advance, you start it with purpose. You don't guess, you execute. You rise in the morning not with confusion, but with clarity, and clarity, when paired with action, becomes your greatest advantage. Every day presents you with choices, and among all those choices, there is always one task that stands out, the one that matters most. This is your top priority, your high-leverage task, the one thing that, if completed, will make the biggest difference in your results. If you want to win the day, you must start by attacking this task first. Don't negotiate with it, don't delay it. Don't distract yourself with lesser tasks. Get after it immediately. Most people do the opposite. They start their day with what's easy, what's familiar, or what gives them a quick sense of accomplishment. But this is a trap. These small wins feel good in the moment, but they often leave the real work undone. The task you avoid is usually the one you most need to complete. It's the one that will move you forward. Winners build the discipline to face it head on. Your first hours are your most valuable. That's when your mind is freshest, your willpower is strongest, and your energy is highest. That's the golden window. Use it. Don't waste it on email, meetings, or social media. Protect your peak performance time. Create an environment with zero distractions, and dedicate it fully to your most important task. This is how productive days begin, and how progress compounds. There's a psychological benefit to starting with your top priority, momentum. When you tackle the hardest or highest value task first, you generate a sense of achievement early in the day. That creates confidence, and confidence fuels motivation. One significant win at the start creates a chain reaction of execution. You build rhythm, you build belief, and before noon, you've already won. It's easy to confuse activity with achievement. You can stay busy all day and accomplish nothing meaningful. That's why attacking your top priority first isn't just a productivity tactic, it's a results strategy. It forces you to focus on outcomes, not effort. It trains your mind to pursue progress, not just movement. And over time, this habit separates the performers from the procrastinators. Sometimes your top task is uncomfortable. It might be difficult, complex, or unfamiliar. That's exactly why it must come first. Postponing it only builds resistance. The longer you wait, the heavier the task feels. But when you face it early, before doubt has a chance to creep in, you break through the resistance. You train yourself to become action-oriented rather than emotion-driven. Attack doesn't mean rush, it means focus. When you go after your top priority, give it your full attention. Turn off notifications. Close unnecessary tabs. Put your phone out of sight. Time block your effort in 60 to 90-minute intervals, if necessary. This is deep work. This is the kind of focused effort that creates breakthroughs. Intensity beats duration. Make this a daily ritual. Identify your most important task the night before, then hit it first thing in the morning. No excuses, no distractions, just pure focus and execution. You'll be surprised how much progress you can make, not by working longer hours, but by working with laser precision on what matters most right from the start of your day. One of the greatest enemies of success is not failure, it's distraction. It's the countless low-value activities that sneak into your day and steal your time without you even noticing. These are the tasks that feel urgent but are not important. They keep you busy, but they don't move you forward. If you're serious about achieving big goals, you must become ruthless about identifying and eliminating them. Low-value activities come in many forms. Scrolling social media, responding to unimportant emails, attending unnecessary meetings, checking your phone every few minutes, or doing tasks that someone else should be doing. The danger isn't that these things take up 1 hour. They steal small chunks of your attention all day long, and attention is the fuel of achievement. If you scatter it, you dilute your results. You have limited time and limited mental bandwidth. Every decision, every task, every interruption uses up part of your focus. When you allow low-value tasks to dominate your schedule, you rob yourself of the energy needed for high-level thinking, problem-solving, and strategy. Success doesn't come from doing more things. It comes from doing fewer things better. The best performers are not the busiest. They're the most focused. One powerful strategy is to conduct a time audit. Track your activities for 2 or 3 days. Write down everything you do and how long it takes. Then ask yourself, which of these tasks directly contributes to my goals? Which ones drain my time with little or no return? When you do this honestly, you'll often find that 20 to 30% of your daily activity could be eliminated without any negative consequence, and that time could be reinvested in higher value work. Another key is to learn to say no quickly, clearly, and without guilt. Every yes to a low-value commitment is a no to something meaningful. Protect your schedule like your life depends on it, because in a way it does. Your time is your life. Don't hand it over casually. You don't need to be rude. You just need to be firm and clear. That's not a priority right now, or I can't commit to that. Boundaries build success. Delegation is also critical. Just because something needs to be done doesn't mean you need to be the one doing it. If someone else can do a task 80% as well as you, hand it off. Free up your time for strategic thinking, planning, and high-impact execution. Many professionals stay stuck at average levels because they insist on doing everything themselves. Winners delegate to elevate. Eliminating low-value tasks is not just about saving time. It's about creating space for growth. It's about making room in your schedule for reading, thinking, improving, and creating. Most breakthroughs don't happen when you're buried in busyness. They happen when you have mental white space to think clearly. Cutting the clutter is how you create that space. Ultimately, the quality of your results is directly tied to the quality of your focus. And your focus depends on what you remove as much as what you pursue. If you want to accelerate your progress, start by cutting what's holding you back. Every low-value task you eliminate is a step closer to mastery, freedom, and success. Your environment either pushes you forward or pulls you back. It's never neutral. If you want to stop wasting time and start winning, you must take full control of your surroundings. Your physical space, your digital space, and your social circle all play a role in your productivity, your mindset, and your momentum. If any part of that environment is cluttered, negative, or distracting, it's draining your energy whether you realize it or not. Start with your physical environment. A messy workspace leads to a messy mind. Clutter steals your focus, creates stress, and slows down your ability to think clearly. Clean it up, organize it, keep only the tools and materials that support your top priority. When your space is clean and clear, your mind becomes more focused, and your actions become more intentional. You're not just working, you're performing. Next, examine your digital environment. Notifications, tabs, emails, and constant pings are robbing you of deep work. Every ding is a distraction that breaks your concentration and costs you precious minutes of recovery time. Turn off notifications, use website blockers if needed. Keep your phone out of reach when doing important work. Protect your digital space like a fortress. The less noise you allow, the more clarity you gain. Now look at your social environment. Who are you spending time with? Are they lifting you up or dragging you down? Are they challenging you to grow or encouraging you to stay average? The people around you influence your standards, your habits, and your energy. If you're surrounded by complainers, procrastinators, or time wasters, it's only a matter of time before you start reflecting them. Success demands a circle that reflects your goal. Don't be afraid to make hard decisions. Sometimes guarding your environment means limiting access to certain people. It means saying no to invitations that don't serve your future. It means creating space between you and negativity. You're not being rude, you're being responsible. You're not judging others, you're protecting your mission. Winners don't apologize for protecting their progress. Your calendar is also part of your environment. If it's filled with low-priority tasks, scattered appointments, and back-to-back obligations, you're not in control. Your schedule is controlling you. Block time for deep work. Leave room for strategy, reflection, and rest. Structure your time to support your focus. A well-designed calendar protects your most valuable resource, your attention. Guarding your environment also means managing inputs. What are you listening to, watching, and reading? Every piece of information you consume shapes your thinking. Garbage in, garbage out. Choose inputs that elevate your thinking, fuel your motivation, and sharpen your skills. Replace gossip and mindless content with learning and inspiration. Your mind becomes what you feed it. Finally, understand that your environment is a mirror of your values. If you tolerate distraction, clutter, or negativity, it's because you haven't fully committed to excellence. But the moment you decide to raise your standards, you'll begin to reshape everything around you to match those standards. And when your environment is aligned with your vision, productivity stops being a struggle. It becomes automatic. One of the most valuable traits you can build is a bias for action. It means you've trained yourself to move, to execute, to start even when you're not 100%. Most people spend too much time thinking, planning, analyzing, and second-guessing. Winners act. They take the first step. They know that action creates momentum, and momentum is what breaks fear, builds confidence, and produces results. Overthinking is a silent killer of dreams. It disguises itself as preparation, but it often leads to paralysis. People get stuck in the trap of just one more idea, or just a little more research, and before they know it, days, weeks, or even years have passed without meaningful progress. A bias for action breaks this cycle. It says, let's go, let's try, let's learn by doing. It moves you out of the mental space and into the arena where results are made. Action doesn't guarantee success, but it guarantees learning, and that's the key. Every time you take a step, even a small one, you get feedback. You see what works, you see what doesn't, you make adjustments, and through this process, you get better, smarter, and stronger. Progress favors those who move, not those who wait for perfect conditions. There is no perfect moment, only the moment you decide to begin. To build this bias, you must learn to lower the barrier to starting. Don't aim for perfection, aim for progress. If a task feels overwhelming, break it down. Ask yourself, what's the smallest possible next step I can take right now? Do it, then take the next one. Action builds clarity. It reduces anxiety, It replaces worry with momentum. Winners don't wait until they feel ready. They act their way into readiness. A bias for action also changes your identity. When you consistently act, you stop seeing yourself as someone who procrastinates or hesitates. You start seeing yourself as someone who executes. And your self-image drives your habits. When your identity shifts to "I'm a finisher," not just a starter, your behavior begins to align with that belief. Every action you take reinforces who you believe you are. In business and health, in relationships, speed of execution often determines your level of success. When you move fast, you gain an edge. You get ahead while others are still debating. You seize opportunities that others miss. This doesn't mean you rush without thinking. It means you make decisions with purpose and follow through immediately. In a fast-moving world, decisiveness is a superpower. You also learn that failure isn't fatal, it's feedback. People who avoid action are often afraid of making mistakes. But action takers understand that failure is part of the process. Every time you fail, you get data. You sharpen your instincts. You become more resilient. And most importantly, you build the courage to keep going. Success is a result of intelligent action taken consistently over time. To become unstoppable, make this your mantra. Start before you're ready. Do something now. Send the email. Make the call. Launch the project. Have the conversation. Take the step. Don't let doubt win the day. Action silences fear. Action beats hesitation. And over time, action compounds into achievement. Success is not a destination. It's a journey of continuous learning and improvement. The moment you stop learning is the moment you start falling behind. The world is constantly changing, and the only way to stay ahead is by committing to lifelong education. Winners are not born, they are made, and they are made through relentless learning, adapting and evolving. The most successful people you know are not the smartest or the most naturally gifted. They are the most committed to self-improvement. Learning is not just about reading books or attending seminars. It's about seeking out knowledge wherever it exists, from your mistakes, from others' experiences, from your failures, and from the feedback you receive. The most valuable lessons often come from real-world application, not theory. Every failure is an opportunity to learn. Every setback holds the seed of growth. Winners don't just bounce back, they grow forward. In today's fast-paced world, knowledge becomes obsolete quickly. What was cutting edge 2 years ago may no longer be relevant today. That's why stagnation is the enemy of progress. If you're not constantly upgrading your skills, you're falling behind. Whether you're in business, technology, personal development, or any other field, the most successful people are those who never stop learning and who stay curious about how they can get better. They make education part of their daily routine. Improvement requires discomfort. It means stepping outside of your comfort zone and challenging yourself. It means trying things that are difficult, scary, or unfamiliar. You will not grow in areas you already know. You grow in areas where you struggle, where you fail, and where you push yourself. If you want to reach the next level, you need to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. The best athletes, entrepreneurs, and leaders all have one thing in common. They embrace discomfort as a sign that they are on the path to improvement. However, learning without action is futile. It's easy to get stuck in consuming knowledge without ever implementing it. But true growth happens when learning meets execution. After every book, seminar, or podcast, ask yourself, how can I apply this? It's not about what you know, it's about what you do with what you know. You can accumulate all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't act on it, you're just collecting data. Action turns knowledge into results. One of the best ways to keep learning is to surround yourself with those who know more than you. Your network is one of your greatest learning resources. Seek out mentors, advisors, and peers who challenge you, teach you, and inspire you. Their experience can shortcut your growth and accelerate your learning curve. Don't be afraid to ask questions, to be vulnerable, or to admit what you don't know. The willingness to learn from others is a sign of strength, not weakness. Your daily habits are critical to your growth. Build routines that include dedicated time for learning and self-reflection. Whether it's reading for 30 minutes every morning, journaling to process your thoughts, or listening to podcasts on your commute, make learning a part of your day. The most successful people carve out time in their busy lives to continue growing, even if it's just a small amount of time each day. The cumulative effect of consistent learning is staggering. Finally, keep track of your progress. Learning is often an invisible process. You can't always see immediate results, but over time the impact will be profound. Take time to reflect on how far you've come. Celebrate the small wins, the lessons learned, and the improvements you've made. And as you do, remind yourself that the learning never stops. Each new level brings new challenges and new opportunities for growth. And so as you move forward, remember this: success is not about being perfect. It's about being committed to constant growth. Every day presents an opportunity to build habits that move you closer to your goal. Every action you take, every choice you make, every small step forward is a step toward the life you desire. Stop wasting time waiting for the perfect moment or the right circumstances. They don't exist. Take charge of your day, prioritize what matters most, and attack your goals with focus and determination. Eliminate the distractions, guard your environment, and build the kind of mindset that thrives on action and improvement. Don't be afraid to fail. Failure is not the end. It's the feedback that drives your next breakthrough. Learn from it, grow from it, and most importantly, keep going. If you commit to learning, to acting, to evolving, you will not just succeed, you will excel. The world belongs to those who rise above the noise, who focus their energy on what truly matters, and who make progress each and every day. Now is your time. Take the first step and then the next. The future belongs to those who act today. So go out there and make it happen, because success is waiting for those who are ready to do the